Have you ever looked at wealthy people and wondered, how do they keep getting richer while everyone else seems to work just as hard? It almost feels like the game is unfair. The rich buy bigger houses, own more businesses, invest in the stock market, and somehow their wealth continues to grow even while they're sleeping. In most cases, the biggest difference isn't that rich people work harder. It isn't because they have a secret formula. It's because they understand a set of financial principles that most people are never taught. Hi, I'm Miles, and welcome to Habitual Cash, where we make finance simple. Today we're going to uncover why the rich keep getting richer, and more importantly, what lessons anyone can learn from their approach. Let's begin with one of the biggest differences of all. Most people work for money. We wake up, go to work, receive a paycheck, pay our bills, and repeat the cycle every month. If we stop working, the income usually stops too. There's nothing wrong with earning a salary. In fact, almost everyone starts there. The problem is when a paycheck becomes the only source of income. Many wealthy people think differently. Instead of asking, how can I earn more money today? They ask, how can I make my money earn more money? That single question changes everything. Imagine you earn $100. You spend it, and it's gone forever. But if you invest it wisely, it may continue producing income year after year. The dollar begins working instead of sitting still. This is called making your money work for you. The second reason the rich keep getting richer is that they buy assets instead of collecting liabilities. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket. It could be shares in a company, a rental property, or a business that earns profits. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Expensive debt, unnecessary subscriptions, and purchases that quickly lose value all reduce your future wealth. Many people increase their income only to increase their spending. They buy a more expensive car, a larger house than they can comfortably afford, or luxury items simply to impress others. Wealthy people often do the opposite. Before upgrading their lifestyle, they first buy assets that generate even more income. Those assets eventually pay for the lifestyle instead of the salary. Now let's talk about something even more powerful. Compound growth. Albert Einstein is often credited with calling compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. Whether or not he actually said it, the idea remains incredibly important. Imagine planting a tiny tree. At first it barely grows, but every year it becomes larger, stronger, and produces more seeds that grow into even more trees. Money can behave the same way. When investments earn returns, and those returns are reinvested, growth begins accelerating. At first it seems slow, then suddenly it becomes impressive. This is why time is one of the greatest advantages wealthy investors have. They don't just invest more money, they invest earlier. Another reason the rich continue building wealth is that they understand calculated risk. Most people avoid every risk because they're afraid of losing money. Successful investors don't avoid risk completely. Instead, they learn about it. They study businesses before investing. They diversify instead of putting everything into one opportunity. They know that informed decisions usually beat emotional decisions. That doesn't mean every investment succeeds. It means every decision is made with knowledge rather than guesswork. The next difference is something anyone can practice: continuous learning. Many wealthy people never stop reading, listening, and improving their knowledge. Financial markets change, technology changes, businesses change. The people who continue learning are better prepared to recognize opportunities when they appear. Knowledge often becomes one of the highest return investments a person can make. Let's talk about lifestyle inflation. Imagine receiving a raise at work. Many people immediately spend more: a better phone, a newer car, more expensive clothes. Soon their expenses rise just as quickly as their income. Even though they earn more, they don't actually become wealthier. Many financially successful people resist this temptation. Instead of spending every raise, they invest part of it first. Their lifestyle improves slowly, while their investments grow much faster. Over time, that gap becomes enormous. Another important principle is ownership. Employees earn income by working. Owners earn income from businesses, investments, intellectual property, or shares in companies. Every time you buy shares in a successful business, you're becoming a small owner. Every time you create something valuable that earns income, you're building ownership instead of simply exchanging time for money. Ownership allows wealth to continue growing long after today's work is finished. Finally, wealthy people usually think long-term. They don't expect to become rich next week. They understand that real wealth often takes years to build. While others chase quick profits and get-rich-quick promises, patient investors allow time to work in their favor. Small investments made consistently over many years can become surprisingly powerful. So why do the rich keep getting richer? Because they focus on buying assets instead of liabilities. Because they let compound growth do the heavy lifting. Because they continue learning. Because they think like owners instead of only workers. Because they make informed decisions instead of emotional ones. And because they play the long game. The good news is that these principles aren't reserved for millionaires. Anyone can start learning. Anyone can begin saving. Anyone can invest wisely according to their financial situation. And anyone can build better financial habits one step at a time. Remember, wealth isn't built overnight. It's built through thousands of small decisions repeated consistently over many years. I'm Miles, and this is Habitual Cash. Thanks for watching, and remember, the goal isn't just to work for money. The goal is to build a future where your money works for you.